SMTV has extensive coverage on the welfare scandal, from how it started to what the university isn't saying. We have wall-to-wall coverage coming up.
USM football had a well-deserved bye week coming off their win against Tulane. But will their Trojan horse of a defense be enough to conquer Troy University? We'll find out about all of that and more in the sports recap.
News, weather, sports, and more begins right now on SMTV.
From the Chuck Scarborough Television Studio on the campus of the University of Southern Mississippi, this is SMTV News. News you can use.
Thank you for tuning into SMTV. I'm Brooke Parker.
And I'm Kiara Malone. Our coverage today focuses on some big stories on campus.
One that comes to mind for me is the welfare scandal, and that is where we start off today.
It's a scandal that is getting national coverage now, but what happened on campus goes back years. The welfare scandal has become one of the largest scandals in Southern Miss history. It involves famous alumni, leaders of charities, and members of state government.
SM2 reporter Abigail Troth has more on that in this report.
It starts with Southern Miss alum and football legend Brett Favre, who only wanted to build a volleyball facility. Little did everyone know that this would lead to the largest public embezzlement case in Mississippi history. USM's Wellness Center started construction in 2017, with Brett Favre and nonprofit organizer Nancy New overseeing most of the project. The project started out with $4 million, but the price quickly grew as funds were secretly funneled from New's welfare-based nonprofit organization, Mississippi Communication Education Center, which received millions a year from temporary assistance for needy families. The funds were intended for low-income families in the poorest state in America, yet instead went into building the state-of-the-art facility. Millions upon millions of dollars were frequently funneled into this construction. Favre himself received over $1 million for speaking engagements and promotions that never happened. While most state officials would have caught and stopped this financial misuse, the head of the Mississippi Department of Human Services, John Davis, was actually in on the scandal, having been bribed by Nancy New. Davis and even members of his family were given these welfare-intended funds to fly first class and visit professional wrestler friends at luxury drug rehabilitation centers in California. The scandal goes well beyond Favre, New, and Davis, extending to former Mississippi governor and Southern Miss alum Phil Bryant. Texts reveal that he was in incessant contact with New and Favre, working out ways to build the facility. Bryant's close friend and state auditor Shad White finally caught on to the scandal, but many are wondering why he didn't catch it sooner and why he left out particular information about Bryant in his now-released documents. When questioned about the scandal, the Office of the President and USM Communications declined to comment or discuss. Despite the bad publicity that those involved have been receiving, one person is still pledging innocence, Brett Favre. Though Favre has stated that there were no immoralities committed in the creation of this facility, the convictions and arrests currently in place for New, her son Zachary New, and John Davis say otherwise. John Davis has currently pleaded guilty and has been sentenced to 32 years in prison. After being arrested in 2020 for their role in the scandal, Nancy and Zachary New are awaiting sentencing but could face over 75 years in prison. This is a developing story with new details related to the scandal coming out in the media every single day. Southern Miss student media will continue to provide updates and information on this unprecedented scandal. Abigail Troth, SM2 News.
Thanks, Abigail. There's been a big talk about the ongoing investigation concerning Brett Favre and the misuse of federal funds to build the volleyball arena.
SM2 reporter Jeterica Wilson reached out to those within the university for comment.
Here at USM, there has been little discussion concerning the misuse of welfare funds. I reached out to several Southern Miss community members, and they all declined my proposal to respond. Take a look.
Thank you for the request, Jeterica. At present, USM does not plan to publicly discuss the matter in detail. I am sorry that I cannot accommodate your request at this time. Please do not hesitate to reach out again in the future. It is hard to know at this point in time why the university is not speaking up on this matter. University officials have decided to keep quiet until further notice.
Jeterica Wilson, SM2 News.
Southern Miss student media will continue to provide updates as the story progresses.
Another controversy on campus shifts from the volleyball arena to Aramark. SM2 reporter Garrett Grove has the exclusive on discrimination affect some current and former student workers at the Fresh.
Aramark provides food services to students, faculty, and staff all across campus. But according to some current and former workers within the Fresh, they are also serving up discrimination. Not the students per se, but student workers. And it affects a certain demographic of said student workers as well. International students from India. That's according to several people in multiple accounts given to Southern Miss student media. Due to fear of retaliation, many did not feel comfortable talking on camera. Those who did wanted their identities kept anonymous.
I can't blame the whole Fresh, but yeah, there are 2 to 3 people who are very rude and very mean. So Dharamak should seriously take action about this.
They don't even consider what I need, as a human. They don't even consider if I need to get some water, or if I'll be thirsty, or if I'll be, really exhausted. They don't care about that. They just need their things to be done.
SM2 has reached out to Marcus White, Aramark's operation director at USM, since April. Since May, we have reached out to Charles Dorsa, resident district manager for Aramark at USM. Neither have responded to multiple requests for comment. In late September, SM2 reached out to University Communications about the issues and the lack of communication from Aramark. USM Chief Communication Officer James Cole gave SM2 News a generic anti-discrimination statement from Aramark Corporate Communications. It did not address any complaints made by the student workers. As of now, USM has provided no official comment. Though University Communications did not know of the grievances until September, USM's Division of Student Affairs did. Back in April, SM2 News sat down with Dee Anderson, Vice President of Student Affairs at USM. She had not personally heard of any allegations of discrimination from students working at the Fresh or Aramark.
I would hope that the students would be comfortable enough to come forward and let someone know that this is happening so that it can be addressed.
I called to Aramark manager HR and I gave complaint. I don't know what action they took. Even I gave complaint to Aramark HR too.
Plans to address and prevent similar acts of maltreatment have not been laid out by USM or Aramark. Garrett Grove, SM2 News.
SM2 News will continue to provide coverage as the story unfolds.
The Afro-American Student Organization hosted a panel about being black at a predominantly white institution this past Thursday on September 29th. Students came from all over campus to take a listen. Many relayed experiences of being black on campus during the 2-hour event. AASO was there to direct the conversation and foster deeper dialogue among those in attendance.
We talked about being an African American student on a PWI's campus. And we talked about the hardships, the trials, the journeys, but also, how to achieve leadership positions here.
AASO is a student organization under the Office of Inclusion and Multicultural Engagement.
Over the summer, the Mississippi Institution for Higher Learning approved funding for the new Center for Human Trafficking Research and Training at the University of Southern Mississippi. It will be housed under the School of Social Work. It is headed by Dr. Tamara Hurst and Dr. Kim Hogan. Both professors have extensive backgrounds in fighting human trafficking. The center serves as a hub of collaboration for researchers, survivors, and the students who collect, track, and analyze human trafficking data within the state.
We hope to better inform our state agencies and our local service providers. We hope to get more people interested in the anti-human trafficking efforts, and we hope that we can make a difference and change things for the better in this state.
The Center for Human Trafficking Research and Training is still in its early stages of development. Visit the center's page on USM's website or contact Dr. Hurst or Dr. Hogan for more information.
The IHL continuously stays busy as its Board of Trustees recently began their search for USM's new president. SGA Senate plans to represent the student body in this process. The legislative body is tasked with improving student life on campus. The Senate is working closely with USM students and administration to ensure that the new president can meet the needs of the student body.
Meanwhile, it seems President Joe Paul exhibits the traits others are looking for in his successor. On Tuesday evening, he spoke at the Wesley, a Methodist organization housed on USM's campus. The president did so as a guest speaker during one of their weekly events. Speaking outdoors, he talked to those present and interacted with them after his remarks.
I tell students, I told them tonight, they're our reason for being. That's our why. Why are we a university? To serve the students. So if I can go speak with student leaders, speak with student organizations, as my calendar allows, I'm going to be there with them.
The second annual Hattiesburg Taste of the South Food Truck Festival was held this past Saturday. The festival was hosted by the Hattiesburg JCs in partnership with Fairley's Wing and more. It brought together food trucks and vendors from across the South. Hattiesburg and surrounding communities came out to enjoy the day of festivities, which lasted from 11 to 6 p.m. The event featured music by DJ Cujo and several live performances by local artists.
Coming up next, we have a few big stories in our Flash News briefing, including one affecting the Hub City.
And there's a lot going on in USM athletics. Nathan Lee has everything you need to know in this week's installment of the SMTV Sports Recap.
But before then, let's take a quick look at weather.
Check out our new design for our Adcock Pool and Spa website. Explore the new look and feel. Build your perfect poolscape in the comfort of your home with our in-ground pool wish list. Choose from different features including pool type, shape, depth, and exquisite style with our outdoor landscape options. With Adcock Pool and Spa, you're in control. Visit us at adcockpoolandspa.com or at any of our 3 locations. Adcock Pool and Spa. We are in the fun business.
Visit HubCityHoedown.com to find your tour dates and live music events for all your favorite local bands. Or submit your own local event on our website. That's HubCityHoedown.com. Your live music in the Burgh.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To not look the other way.
It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us,
to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
At a time when misinformation is all too common on social media, we take great pride in bringing you the news that matters, that impacts your family, news you can trust. Local broadcast journalists bring you the facts, covering the stories breaking in our community and across the globe. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on local journalism. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
There are a couple of things in and outside of Hattiesburg that you need to know about. Here's your SMTV News Flash Briefing.
The Mississippi Department of Education recently released the new rankings from school districts across the state. One district in particular made significant improvement. Hattiesburg Public School District was rated a D district in the 2019 rankings. Hattiesburg High School was an F-rated school. The school district is now rated an A district, and Hattiesburg High School now has a B district. School and local leaders are ecstatic about the change.
Java's Malone City, a soccer team in Indonesia, lost their first home game in 23 years. In response to the loss, riots broke out. The fans were angry with the result and began to throw objects at the players. After the police stepped in and tear gassed the rioters, fans caused a stampede, resulting in a death toll of 174 people. Hundreds more were injured. With the death toll that high, this has become one of the world's deadliest sports events on record.
I'm Nathan Lee, and welcome back to the SMTV Sports Recap. Even though there was no football this weekend, we had a big-time sports play around Southern Miss past week, starting with volleyball's battle against Troy, along with impressive play from the women's golf team and cross country's big day in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Volleyball had an up-and-down weekend in their two matches between Troy. Their first match was a fight to the end as it went 5 sets, and Southern Miss would make a late 5-0 comeback to edge the Trojans. Troy would get its revenge in the second match of the weekend as they would sweep the Eagles in 3 straight sets. This pushes the Golden Eagles' overall record to 10-6 with a 2-2 conference record. Volleyball returns to the court on Thursday, October 6th in Monroe, Louisiana at 6 p.m. We haven't given the women's golf team the love they deserve this season, so let's recap the past couple weeks of their play. At the Hoover Classic, the team took home first place honors with sophomore Momoka Ando leading the push with her 216 total score over 2 days, earning her a second place finish. The women couldn't go back-to-back on first place finishes as they would tie for 8th out of 21 schools at the Pat Lisser Harbottle Invitational. The team gets back to action at the Lady Red Wolves Classic on October 10th through the 11th. The cross-country team stole the show last week with their second place finish at the Chili Pepper Festival. The Golden Eagles posted 129 points with an average time of 17 minutes and 18 seconds. Still, Olivia Wawrzyniak is the real story of the tournament with her 4th place finish honors, finishing in 16 minutes and 34.8 seconds. This is another school record and personal best for the freshman as she has captured this season. The Golden Eagles have their last race before the Sun Belt Championships at the Crimson Classic on October 14th. Golden Eagle football has their biggest test of the season so far as they travel to Troy, Alabama to face the Trojans this weekend. With many questions, QB questions circling the team, head coach Will Hall has officially announced Zach Wilkie will be the starter for the remainder of the season. This season, Wilkie has posted 503 passing yards on 60% completion percentage with 4 touchdowns with only 1 interception. Coach Hall talks about Wilkie's game against Tulane along with his progression this season.
Second half, I thought his eyes were right all game long. And, I thought that he really took some steps forward, and we got to continue to grow with him. We're going to be an explosive offense before this year's over with. I hoped we would be better tonight than what we were. I hoped we could put 2 halves together like the second half. We didn't, but we're going to continue to improve.
The Golden Eagles take on the Trojans at Veterans Memorial Stadium on Saturday, October 8th at 6 p.m. We finally have our 4th Street Player of the Week, which the fans have voted on. Welcome volleyball player Kiara Atkinson to the 4th Street Player of the Week club after her great games against Troy. Atkinson had a team-high 24 kills and 10 blocks in 2 games over the weekend. Don't forget to listen to the 4th Street Sports Show on Mondays at 5 p.m. on 88.5 FM or the Southern Miss Student Media YouTube channel. This has been the SMTV Sports Recap. Back to you.
Thank you, Nathan.
Coming up next, a human library serves as a living, breathing resource for others to use.
Plus, community calendar anchor Abigail Trotz sits down with Madison Hudson, NAACP president at USM. Be sure to stick around after the break.
For news, weather, sports, and more, follow Southern Miss Student Media on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram.
The world is changing, and we are changing with it as our students create, inspire, and inform. Beginning this fall, the School of Media and Communication will take its Public Relations Master's degree fully online. That means students anywhere in Mississippi or around the world can get their advanced PR degree from the University of Southern Mississippi. Check us out as our students find new ways to create, inspire, and inform.
If your husband gets lung cancer from smoking, be prepared to spend a lot of time together. 88179. Just not the way either of you imagined.
The people you love are worth quitting for. You can quit. For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
'Cause everything I touch turns gold.
From the Chuck Scarborough Television Studio on the campus of the University of Southern Mississippi, this is SMTV News. News you can use.
PRISM, USM's LGBTQ+ Resource Center, recently held a human library event at the IME space. SMT reporter Simeon Gates gives you the inside look.
PRISM's Human Library event was a night of stories, empathy, and solidarity. SMT News talked to one participant and coordinator of PRISM and programming, Wes Schaefer.
The event was held on Wednesday night, September 28th. Participants came from a list of noted allies on campus, and they represented a variety of walks of life. They exchanged stories, life lessons, and had important conversations with guests, fostering empathy and inclusivity in the Southern Miss community. Schaefer discussed the inspiration behind the event.
I really feel like representation is at the forefront of our office and my vision, so I wanted to show them that there was representation of who they are across campus. So not every single person in this room looks the same, and that's what we really want to show.
Representation was a major theme of the night. It was also the main reason why activist and graduate student Jenna Dittmer chose to attend.
Being a graduate student here at the Inclusion Center, I really wanted to interact and make sure that the students here feel that their leadership is also wanting to talk and learn with them.
In recent months, backlash towards the LGBTQ+ community has increased, but Schaefer says this only makes their work at PRISM more important than ever. PRISM is a branch of the Office of Inclusion and Multicultural Engagement. They hold events like this every semester to celebrate diversity on campus. For more information, visit PRISM's offices at the Hub. Simeon Gates, SM2.
I don't know how this...
Premier Wind Band of the University Band Program. The free event will be in the Malone Performing Arts Center auditorium on October 6 at 7:30 p.m. USM SMAC presents USM's Got Talent. The event will be held in Bennett Auditorium on October 7th from 7 to 9 p.m. and doors open at 6 p.m.
The School of Music and Choral Activities presents the Spirit of Southern Invitational, a day-long contest for contemporary a cappella groups and choral ensembles. The entire USM community is invited to listen to the performances. The invitational is set for October 8th at the Malone Performing Arts Center Auditorium. Spirit Park will be hosting the annual Southern Miss Powwow as a celebration for Native peoples. The event is free and open to the public. It will feature dance competitions, music, art, and food from local vendors. The event will be in Spirit Park from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
The Student Government Association will be hosting the 2022 Homecoming Kickoff Spirit Rally at the Centennial Green. The event is on October 10th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and will be free and open to the public. Before we close out the show, let's see a snippet of the interview between SM2's Abigail Troth and NAACP Chapter President Madison Hudson.
Do as president?
As president, I don't necessarily plan the events, but I plan like how the events are going to go. I, kind of, put everybody where they're supposed to be, say what everybody's supposed to be doing, that kind of thing.
Right. So what exactly does the NAACP do?
We strive to encourage everyone to be like a better person and like push them to like, have better opportunities, especially minority groups, but we try to create a equal space for all people, if that makes sense.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So could you tell me a little bit of how you got involved within the NAACP?
Okay, I used to be a general member of the NAACP, and last year I was co-chair of programming last year. And then I was like, I want to do something like more in the organization, so I decided I'm going to be president. So I had the interview with my advisor, Ms. Nicka, and here I am, the president.
Wow, making moves, huh? Wow. So what exactly does USM's particular branch of the NAACP do?
We have a bunch of like different programs for students on campus to like help them like figure out like how to, I guess, become like better students, if that makes sense. Not like better students, but like better students. Like just this past Monday, we had a resume building program, and we had a free headshot drive. So like that's things that could like help you in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you also aim to encourage a better future for those in the group and outside of it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a great thing.
Thank
Genuinely.
you. We try.
So what exactly is the NAACP doing here that is different from what the NAACP is doing outside, like the NAACP in the U.S. or the Mississippi NAACP?
I know that like the community NAACP is like serving the community. We're specifically serving the university. We do like community events, like community service events and whatnot, but like we are Southern Miss's chapter in NAACP, so we're serving Southern Miss, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So is there a way that you would like to spread NAACP's message further across the university?
Yeah, I want to get our platform bigger, because you know social media is big these days, and I would want us to have like a bigger platform, and I would like more people to like see our events and come to our events, because our events are catered to everyone, not just people of like color. I know you know the color people is in our name, but I want everybody to like come to our events, come show up, have a bigger platform, basically.
Thanks, Abigail. That was a great look into this organization.
We got to talk about this, yo. What about this squirrel causing the power outage around the campus, yo? That's crazy.
I know, but I'm so happy that I got out of my test.
Yeah, you're right. I did get out of class, so there was a benefit from it, I guess.
Not for me. All my classes were over, so
yeah,
it didn't really matter.
Hey, you didn't get to reap the benefits. And they try to ruin our show this week, but you know, the show must go on. But that pretty much wraps us up for this week. We really hope you enjoyed watching SMTV.
If you want to stay in the loop, be sure to subscribe to Southern Miss Student Media on YouTube. The entire interview with Madison Hudson will be on our YouTube channel.
And you be sure to find a new episode of this show every week. I'm Brooke Parker.
I'm Kiara Malone.
And I'm Nathan Lee. As always, Southern Miss
to the top.
The latest SMTV News episode? Find us and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Southern Miss Student Media. Listen to Southern Miss Today, Monday through Thursday on WUSM. Get all of your local, regional, and national news, weather, sports, and more on Southern Miss Today. News you can use. If you would like to advertise with Southern Miss Student Media, give us a call today at 601-266-4258 or reach out to Justin Martin at wilbur.martin@usm.edu.